recent test mode, which just come out, it really reaffirms our process going forwards that the Albion processing technology will work for this ore body. The test work done for the PFS, it was based off a couple of samples, quite small, and it was a theory basis, making sure that, yep, in theory this will work. Now it's a bulk sample. We sent about 1.4 tonnes of core to the labs to generate a concentrate. We released that information a while ago. We've got about 92% of the gold in concentrate and nearly 99% recovery of the sulfides in a con. So we've got quite a good con, about 50 grams a tonne, 30% sulfides. That is really, really positive going to the Albion circuit. Having that sulfur concentration in that con works nicely into the isomill. We'll grind that down to 10 to 12 microns. That'll then go into the oxidation tanks, which is the overall Albion technology. In there, we add limestone for acid neutralization, a lot of oxygen. Now over this finely ground surface, we'll crack the surface of the sulfides. That then lets it go into the leach tanks, where we can then get the rest of the gold out the back end, and overall 92% recovery. And when you look at it, there's not that many mills in the gold space even running at that number, let alone an ore body like this. So it is pretty significant. And overall, it's just going to confirm the economics of this project. We've got a 6 gram ore body from our recent resource update, great recoveries. The cash flow side of it is pretty high potential. So since we put the resource update out back in July, we've still been drilling. And even then, we had a cut-off back in April. And after that, we moved the rigs elsewhere to start seeing what is the potential in our Youanmi system. We've got a bit over 60 kilometres of strike down the main Youanmi shear zone. And that's really important. It's got Penny right in the middle of it. That's a pretty high-grade known asset. And then you've got Youanmi itself, which is up at the northern end. That Youanmi area of ours, we've got about 3 million ounces of known mineralisation up there from what has been mined and also what's in our resource going forward, where we've got 2.17 million ounces of 5.6 grams a tonne. In that region, there's about a 900 metre gap from the southern end of the pit to the main shear, very untested. But even as we come out to the west, moving away from the granite in the footwall, we've got other old workings on the surface and pits that were mined back in the 80s. Around those, there hasn't been much work done. So we've started putting a few holes out through there and getting some really exciting results off that as well. But even between there and the main mine, we're also getting those results, which is the Midway zone. So for us now, we've got a bit more data. These are all diamond holes, which is really good because we've now got the structural information. We can have a look, see what it really means. And then we can design follow-up programs to see what else can grow out of it. One thing we're confident with the Youanmi project is our base plan is going to be just that. We're going to come out with a DFS. That's going to be a base plan. We expect to see growth just from the potential we can see in the region. So moving forwards with this project, we've brought Increva in as our owner's management team. They're going to provide project director, project management to get this project constructed and commissioned. And that's a really important step forwards. We've got a lot of confidence that this project is going to happen. Ultimately, we're still at the DFS to come out in November, followed by an FID. But in the lead up to that, we're going to start putting all our contracts in place. We're going to get our strategies in place as to how we're actually going to build this project and then have the team to execute it. Increva themselves, highly credentialed team. They were behind a very large project over the last few years. They delivered that successfully, on time, on budget, and it worked. Now we've got them with us. It's a good show of faith in our project, but also having them support us is just great to really make our lives a lot easier. The next 6 months, we've got a lot of things happening right now. This Met update today, that was a big start in really being our second part of delivery of our DFS. So again, MRE update came out, a strong lift off the back of that for our information. This Met work confirming that our processing solution will work and we've been able to replicate it. Going forward now, our mining tender, we're well into the process of that, looking at appointing a contractor, hopefully within the next month. And early next quarter, we're actually going to start that first exploration decline, which will come off United North. And that's really about getting down under the pit so we can get the drill rigs in there, start the grade control and also extension exploration from a much closer position and a better angle. So that's pretty exciting. It's really that early path to development. We've got some more project updates coming out, particularly around the dewatering, permitting updates, which are very close. Camp construction is about to start as well, so we're starting to get that base infrastructure in place. But really, it's about delivery of that DFS. We are still on track for November. It's going to be very interesting to see what that looks like compared to our PFS. With the MRE, we've had a big lift in indicated ounces, so we're expecting that is going to help increase the ounces in this mine plan. We can see there's potentially going to be a high production rate. We're pretty confident the grades are going to go up as well. We have an 11% uplift again between the models, and that should lead to pretty exciting financial metrics. Off the back of that, the debt piece, that's working in the background. We've had indicative term sheets come through, pretty exciting with what that looks like. So we're running that in parallel with doing our study. So come January, February next year, we'll be in a place ready to make an FID and actually start the construction of the mill, plus the acceleration bin at the rest of the underground mine plan.